From time to time on the channel we get to review some unusual things, and you might think straight off that this isn't quite that much unusual. We've done 330e before on the channel, but this one is not a normal 330e. This one has a little bit more horsepower than you might imagine because Ronan Smith, the owner, has decided that he doesn't like how fast it goes and decided to reprogram the whole thing. So I'm going to leave the explanation of what happened there up to Ronan himself.
Stock for 2 weeks when I bought it, only. And after that I was like, okay, I'm not impressed with the torque, because I went from a Focus ST diesel that I also had mapped and tuned, and a few other bits done to it that I won't go into details. And the torque from that was 490.
Right.
The torque in this stock was 420, which you think is okay, but because it's petrol not diesel, it doesn't feel as...
You don't get that turbo.
You don't feel as meaty or pull back in the seat. So I was like, feck it, I'm going to bring it to someone that I know that specialises in BMW maps called Quantum Tuning, and the place is called Quantum Tuning, or BM Workshop based in Racool. So I brought it to your man Constantine and I told him what I wanted, and €270 later I had it remapped and I got an extra 85 horsepower and an extra 150 newton meters of torque over stock. And since then it's been an absolute rocket ship. I pay $170 in tax on road a year, and because it's a hybrid I get e-flow discounts as well. So it's brilliant. This is an M340i for the price of a hybrid. Well, half the price of the hybrid, so it's awesome. And I was tempted to go and get the black grills and the skirts and the spoiler, but I was thinking that would just ruin it. I was like, feck that. So the only thing I did was got a perforated steering wheel from a fellow called Peter Leder. You can find him on Facebook. €100 all in, and like when I showed the people, I thought I spent €400 or €500 on the thing, and it's awesome.
We go for a spin in this monster car. So chipping your car or improving the performance of your car should be done by professionals. Just make sure it's not Larry down the road who has a laptop. You're okay? That happens a lot. It does happen more than you imagine. If you go within tolerances, you'll be fine. But if you go outside the tolerances, you don't know what's going to happen next because it's untested. So you want to go within the tested range. But obviously this one has been done to its to a proper range. So chipping a car changes, makes a difference, everything in the car. So you change performance, you also change the torque levels. But within exactly the same tolerances, you can change things like reprogramming stuff where you have sports displays coming up in front of you. And you can change a lot of stuff about cars these days. And these ones are no different. We'll take a little spin down the main road, not the dual carriageway, motorway. So in normal modes, when you're just driving around, these things are, no matter what the horsepower is, you could be driving an RS7 or an M3 or whatever, and it just feels like a normal car. It's only when you really put your foot down you actually really figure out where these things are good. It still has the sports mode, the sports plus mode, and you can see the rev range has gone up, just like normal engine stuff, but this one has a lot more horsepower. So when you put your foot down, everything starts to come on, you feel that extra horses starting to happen for you. It's really responsive actually in fairness. Because of the electric boost, these things can feel much more responsive than just a straight petrol that's been chipped up. So the side benefit of this car is that it actually has very low tax, and you can use the e-flow systems to get through. So you actually kind of get the benefit of having a very fast car, but at the same time you're able to get all the cheap stuff. This could be the saving grace of PHEVs. Maybe Ron has actually come up with an idea to be able to save and make good PHEVs out there. So it still feels stable. You do notice the difference of not having run flat tires in the car. I can feel the softness of the entire car, the way it sits there being very pleasant to sit in. But there's a good grumble out of the engine as it wants to overtake there. There's a nice bit of torque behind it too. I mean, the newton meters of torque doesn't feel too heavy on you. Like, it's not like a big diesel where it sits down on your chest. It's just this predictable amount of power that comes with it. It's really nice. The steering wheel makes it as well. This is a custom covered steering wheel. It gives this dapple effect on the outside. But BMW already make really good steering wheels, really thick and chunky ones. This one just makes it a little bit nicer to sit and drive in. I suppose you better test the responsiveness of the car. So we're going to sit here at 0. Okay, 3, 2, 1, go. Oh my God! The power, the performance that comes on is actually quite heavy. It feels like so much more of a car than just a 330e, this kind of PHEV sort of dismissive one. It's definitely not that. Plenty of horsepower attached to it. This might be the simplest way of getting more performance from an environmentally friendly car. And I know a lot of EV owners out there now will be twitching at this stage very heavily because, of course, they don't agree that PHEVs are environmentally friendly, but they are part-time batteries. And this is running part-time on a battery. It just happens to be very fast. I also like the sports displays, which tell you how many Newton meters of torque you're getting at any one time. Like, there's 420. I love it. What a car. It's cool to see, I think, where it's actually going to go is people will find their own way of doing things. So as we get more electric cars, more PHEVs, more petrols, more diesels, people will find ways of tuning them and sorting them out, because the relentless idea that speed is good has been around for a very long time. Speed has been the key of everything. We look at everything we've ever done, the space race, all the wars, the whole lot. It's all about speed. It's about being faster all the time. And that's what I think the key of this car is, that it manages to be a little bit environmentally friendly while at the same time being a little bit more performance. So if you want to get something like this done and you're looking at your car and you're thinking about doing something like this, just go on advice, okay? Make sure you've talked to the people that are involved, that you're doing it at a professional level. I'm not recommending you do that, so don't come to me if you blow up your car and sometimes changing the horsepower on it. I don't want to know. It's up to you to do that, but you can certainly send me pictures of your horsepower and all that sort. That'd be good. Let's see that. Go out on the motorway. See what that's like. See how she cruises. When you're in the torque band, there's a little torque band that activates both engines. And it really does the job, doesn't it? It's just like, boom. It is relentlessly fast. You'd never think you're sitting in a part-time electric car. You really wouldn't. You really wouldn't. You just think you're sitting in a standard BMW mile-munching 3 Series. Now, if we're going to, there's other moments here, so let's be straight. We have to do a little environmentally friendly thing. So let's go into comfort or into Eco Pro mode for a moment. So Eco Pro and the rest turns down the throttle response. And what I'm told by Ronan is that you manage to get about 40 miles to the gallon out of this car if you just take it in handy. So you're getting massive performance, so well in excess of 340 horsepower, but 40 miles to the gallon, maybe even 50 miles to the gallon if you're really, really nice with it and take your time and zoom about the place. So the Eco Future is great then, isn't it? That's what I think is going to happen next. I've been overtaken by a Toledo. That's terrible. At the speed of him, look at him go. Superb machines. A really, really nice yacht to just drive around in. Such a pleasant thing. You don't know the speed in the BMW. I always noticed that myself. When you're driving along a road like this, you're doing the motorway speeds, but actually it feels like you're doing half the speed you're really doing. German cars seem to manage to get that bang on for me every time. Other benefits of PHEV, of course, is that you have a manual gearbox. So you can actually flip it into sport mode and then you can take over using the flappy paddle gearbox. That is, of course, in most BMWs, but in a PHEV, you get, well, in this one, you get 350 horsepower through a manual gearbox, which is quite nice. So listen, if you're thinking about doing this kind of thing to your car, get it done professionally. Be very careful of this one. This can break your car. Not this one, obviously. This is 340 horsepower with an e-drive installed. And I love that custom steering wheel. It's really nice. Good feeling off it. But get it done professionally. Thank you very much for watching. If you'd like me to review your car as a user at home, then get in touch with me. bobflav@thenextgear.com. Everybody does. I have millions of emails, so if I don't respond to you straight away, take it easy. I'll be getting there. You can also find me on Twitter, more currently on TikTok. There's a huge community of people on TikTok now, close to 50,000 followers there. So come on over and join us there as well, because we do a lot of video stuff there too. You'll also find us on Instagram and pretty much wherever it is you get your social media. Thank you very much for watching, and until the next time, I will see you on the far side. I hope those two people don't crash. It's always good. when they do that in the middle of an outro. It's always nice when two people decide they want to have a little collision. How's that one again?